What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's first video. And in today's first video, we're going to take a look at Ethereum. We're going to take a look at the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, and the Ethereum Bitcoin pair to see if there's any clues on what is going to happen next for Ethereum. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple of my price targets and things of that nature, right? So let's not waste any more time and jump straight on in to the chart. If you guys can see here, on the 4-hour time frame, just yesterday, we did break, just today actually, this morning, we did break this neckline here of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? And you take your neckline here and you extrapolate that target to the upside. That should give us a short-term target of about right around $2,400 in the short term. Now, first, I do want to say, don't be surprised if we get a short-term pump here, right? We get a little short-term pump, and we actually do come back down and retest this area as support. I'm going to go over that as well on the daily chart, but don't be surprised if we come back down and retest that as support and then continue up to our targets, okay? Usually when you break out of these inverse head and shoulders patterns, you do like to get that initial pump, come back down, retest that old resistance as new support, and then continue back up to the upside. So that's really the 4-hour time frame. We held the 4-hour 20 EMA really perfectly here. You can see we did it on our left shoulder. We dropped down below it, creating our head, and then we continued to hold the 4-hour 20 EMA as support before finally bouncing off of it and breaking out. So really good things on the 4-hour. We do have some room to run here as we're only sitting at a 66 on the RSI, and we've gotten as high as up in the 90s for Ethereum in the past. So we do have room to run on the 4-hour RSI. We switch on over to the daily chart here. We know we broke out of this symmetrical triangle on the daily chart. Now, if we look at what our measure move target out of that was, you take your measure move from top to bottom of the triangle, you extrapolate that at your breakout point of the triangle. That gives you also a measure move somewhere around 2,600. So we're getting a lot of confluence at that 26, right around that like mid $22,000 range. Now, same thing on the daily chart. Do not be surprised here if what we do is we pump up here a little to the upside like we have, and we actually come back down to retest our previous highs as new support. Do not be surprised if we do that at all. That will be very, very typical on what a coin would do once it passes its all-time highs. It always comes back down and retests, just like we did back here, where we had our previous high back here, and we actually came back down and retested it as support before continuing up. Our 20-day moving average should be our support going forward. So as the days goes on, we should see this 20-day moving average continue to rise up here. And hopefully that's our bounce point where we do bounce off that 20-day moving average as it rises up here. And we test that as support, and then we continue higher up to the upside. So it doesn't mean we're going to pump up straight to these mid-2000s today, right? It could take a couple days, guys, as we come back down and retest that as support. So just keep that in mind that it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And if we do actually break this support on a daily close basis, so we break down below 2,150, then I would switch back to bearish. And this could just be one big fake out. If we actually come back below, if I get rid of some of these lines here, we actually come back below that support and we break down lower, that definitely could be short-term bearish. So keep that in mind, guys. That we're not out of the woods yet until we get that full daily close above this line, okay? So that's the daily chart. Let's switch on over to the weekly. On the weekly, this is why I had the title of the video, 3,500 could be next. If you see here, right now, we're sitting right at our 1.618 Fibonacci target, which is sitting right at about 2,300. So if we break 2,300, which I think we're going to do, we just need some momentum to the upside. We break 2,300 maybe after a couple days of consolidation and retest. Then obviously you can see our 2.618 Fibonacci is sitting right at about 3,500. Okay, so 3,560 to be exact is our 2.618 Fibonacci from our bull market high to our bear market low. You can see after that we have a couple different targets there. 3.618 Fibonacci is right around 4,900, but we'll take a look at those targets when the time comes. Those are a little too high to look at right now. But based on our fib extension targets, 3,500 should be next, right? You take a look at our bull market support bands right now. Our 10-week moving average right now is sitting at about 1,851. So that's really good. That's catch up to us super nicely here. And we have our 20-week moving average right now currently sitting at 1,529. So this is obviously our bull market support. We don't break this in a bull market for Bitcoin and Ethereum. at least. And you can see we bounced off it very, very nicely all the way on our way up on the moves here. So I do expect a nice continuation here to 3,500, assuming that we hold this as support if we do come back test. Like I said, if we come back down, back test that, and we break it, we could see lower price action. Just always keep that in mind, okay? So last thing I wanted to touch on was the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. You can see here on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, we're still going right on course, right? We're still in this upwards channel that we've been in since September 2019 almost perfectly, where we just keep riding the waves up here, riding the waves, and right now we're on that up wave. So I do expect us to continue. It always is possible that, you know, we could have some consolidation to this 10-week moving average. We tend to like to ride that up to the upside in the beginning before really getting impulsive. Same thing here. And then same thing here. We like to ride that 10-week before we really start getting an impulsive couple weeks to the upside for Ethereum. So don't be surprised if we wait for this 10-week moving average to catch up to us still a little bit. We kind of go sideways here, maybe on the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, and then we really get that big upwards momentum, you know, going on within the next couple weeks on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So I do think right now it's technically better to hold Ethereum over Bitcoin. Obviously, that could change at any point, so keep that in mind. But as of right now, I think that is the case. All right, so hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure you subscribe and also hit the like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.